Another group of elements, compounds actually, that you will need to name are acids. And an acid always starts with a hydrogen. So you will know it's an acid if it starts with an H. Things like HCl, HNO3, these are both acids. So whenever you see hydrogen first on a compound, you can understand that it's an acid. All right, so we're going to look at just the very basic types of acids. The first one will be just two elements, and one of them has to be hydrogen. So it's going to be hydrogen and one other element. The second one will be hydrogen and a polyatomic ion. And a polyatomic ion is when you have many atoms with a charge. So this is usually 3 elements or more. All right, so the first one is just 2 elements. Hydrogen is included. Things like HCl or HBr. To name HCl, this is hydrochloric acid. Okay, the hydro is talking about your hydrogen, and then the chloric is talking about the second element. All right, so you're going to take the name of that second element and change the ending to IC, and then tack on the word acid to it, and we're going to add hydro in the front. So you're going to have hydro, the element name, ic acid. So let's look at this HBr. If we apply the rules, we would have hydro, it's bromine, so we're going to go bromic acid. Okay, so you are just adding a prefix and a suffix and then the word acid to it. All right, so take a minute to figure out HF and HI. They are both 2-element acids. They start with hydrogen. And then you would need to change the names so that you could get the correct answer. So I would like you to pause this, write the correct answer down, and then resume playing the video. All right, so this one is hydrofluoric acid. And this is hydroiodic acid. All right, so in the second type of acids, you have 3 or more elements. And in these acids, you're going to recognize that you have a polyatomic ion attached to the hydrogen. So we recognize that NO3 minus 1 is nitrate. Okay, so what they have done is they've taken a polyatomic and they've balanced out the charge with the number of hydrogens that they attach. So you can see that nitrate has a -1, so we attach 1 hydrogen. Now, when we're naming this HNO3, when you have an ATE ion, you become an ic acid. And if you have an ITE ion, you become an OUS acid. Okay, so in the case of nitrate, we would become nitric acid. Okay, you just take the root name and you remove the ATE off of it, and you add an IC and add the word acid. All right, so let's look at these examples. The first one, we can see that we have ClO3, which is chlorate. I'll write it over here to help us remember, chlorate. And you can see that it's an ATE acid, so we're going to change the ending to IC. So this one is chloric acid. Okay. Our next example is H2SO4. You should recognize the SO4 is sulfate. So again, we have an 8 ion. So we're going to become sulfuric acid. All right, third example, SO3 is sulfite. Okay, so this one's going to use a different ending. This one is going to be sulfurous acid. Okay, remember, if it's an ATE ending, it becomes an ic acid. And if it's an ITE ending, it becomes an OUS acid. As long as you know what the polyatomics are, you can change the ending and get the right name for your acid.